welcome to another episode of Rubicon Unlimited. I'm James, and today we're going to take a look at my brake light. I've been running the stock one with the Teraflex mount for quite a while now, and I actually had a pretty cheap Amazon camera attached to it as well. The thing is, it was pretty low resolution and pretty clunky. Whenever I had to take the tire off, it was pretty cumbersome. So today, we're going to swap both of those out, and we're going to put in this JW Speaker brake light that has an integrated camera. Okay, before I jump into this light, hit that subscribe button below, and if this video is helpful for you, maybe hit the like button. That way YouTube suggests it to other people in the future. Thanks. Okay, so when running this stock light and that camera that I had installed from Amazon, it was really painful to take this tire off. I would have to disconnect everything, feed the whole bracket through the tire spoke. It was clunky, it was difficult, and it took a lot of time. So with this new light, we have brake light and the camera on a disconnect. So the whole bracket will just come right off, and then you can pull the tire off with no issue. It's so much quicker, so much more convenient, and it's just a way more seamless design with the light and the camera built in together. This camera is much better quality than that Amazon camera that I had, that generic thing. It was really noisy at night, and this one is much clearer, so I'm happy with that. It also has an aircraft connection, which supplies power and the video signal to my monitor up front. So that's just one cable I had to run. With the Amazon camera, I had to run a video cable, and then I had to tie into a power hookup, which was actually my tail light. So I had to do a bit of splicing and some wiring there. So it was a little more complicated. With this JW Speaker setup, I'm just running that one cable to their monitor, and the monitor up front at the dash actually powers everything, gets the signal. Really seamless, integrated, really nice. I recommend it. But the thing with this light is it's not necessarily made for Jeeps. So it's a universal application. It's mainly for a trucking industry, but I adapted it to work here just using simple bracketry, really. I made a little bracket that hooks up to the Teraflex mount, and then this light was easy to mount. So I'm gonna go over that and show you what I did. But yeah, these universal parts, they're universal, so you can make them work. I've also done another video with my camera setup, and that's because JW Speaker has their Trail 6 lights, and one of the bezels for it has a camera built in. So I did a whole overview on my camera setup and the monitor. I go over the wiring and the hookups for that kind of setup. So if you want to watch that video, I'll link it here. Hit that, and then if you're interested in this reverse setup, well, here's the video for it. Again, I'm going to give you links to all these products down below in the description, so if you want to check it out and piece together your system, check the links below. And let's get on with making this bracket and mounting this new light camera to the tire. So here's the typical removal procedure. Remove some bolts, and from here you can see the bracket that we need to remove. This is the Teraflex bracket with my camera kind of zip tied to it. You can also see the standoffs that the kit comes with. This is so that, you know, the light stands off from the wheel, just giving you that extra space. And these lugs actually hold the wheel on. So now I'm gonna get a screwdriver and we're gonna remove the light. We now have the factory harness plug here, so we can actually remove that. And the light is free. This is the bracket. And the way I have it set up is the camera is kind of attached to that. Now the camera doesn't have any way of disconnecting, so I need to feed it through this hole. And as you can see, it just like barely fits, and you have to maneuver it so that it gets all the way through. And it's a bit of a puzzle. It doesn't always work, and it's a pain, and I'm probably scratching my rim in the meantime. So here is our new light. You see, we got our third brake light and the camera built in. Super sweet. It also comes with this connector, power supply, and video all in one. So that's great. And then we have our connection here for the light, which will be adapted into the stock harness. And the great thing about that is it will unplug from the back, and then the camera, of course, has this connection, which we will easily be able to unplug and remove the light. Now, if we look at our Teraflex bracket that I've been using, we can't really mount it to the new light, because where the mounting holes are, we would drill right into the circuit board, so that doesn't work. We need to somehow adapt it so that way it will line up with these two mounting holes on either end. So what I went and did is I made this cardboard cutout. We got our mounting holes, and then two more holes which will go up here and line up with our Teraflex bracket. So I made this out of cardboard just to get a nice little template. I could provide this information if anyone's hoping to kind of adapt the same setup onto their Jeep. But yeah, we've got this cardboard cutout here. I transferred it to this metal so you can kind of see. I refined it a bit, used the ruler, made it look nice. So this will have to be cut out, painted, and then we can adapt this bracket to work with our new light and make everything work nice. Okay, so we drilled the holes. Bracket is looking good, it's all prepped. Now I'm gonna get some primer, self-etching primer. We're gonna spray this guy and then some black paint, and that should be good for the bracket before we rivet it onto the Teraflex bracket and then mount the camera. Let's do it. Check it out. Made the bracket, it's all painted and looking good. So now we can attach it to our Teraflex mount. Okay, so to attach my new bracket to the Teraflex bracket, I'm gonna use a rivet because I want it to be pretty low profile just because of how this new mount is going to attach right to the back of the new light. So I want it to be pretty flush. So I'm just gonna rivet this in and it'll be its own little bracket. There we go. All right, now that we've got the bracket all riveted up, we can take our light here, feed the camera cable through the opening, and then with the provided hardware, just gonna stick a bolt through and then a nut on the back, and this will be mounted up to our new bracket. Okay, so with the wheel off, now I'm gonna route my new wiring and remove this old camera. I'll probably relocate this somewhere else, maybe to the front of the Jeep. But for now, we're gonna pull it out, and the way this works is it's gonna run through the tailgate and then right up to the front where my monitor is. And then for the power, we're gonna cut off the factory plug and we're gonna splice in our new plug that came with the JW speaker light. So that one is going to be weather sealed as well, and it'll allow us to quickly remove the light and camera all in one shot. So here's my camera. You can see I ran the cable right through this grommet, and this goes onto the other side of the tailgate, which I will show you now. So then the camera cable fed through here and then inside the Jeep, and I'm going to pretty much follow the same route with my new wire running out and going through the grommet. The kit comes 6-meter extension, and it uses the same aircraft style connection. So this will provide video and power to the camera, making things super simple. So I'm gonna run that in the exact same location as this old camera. Okay, I just spent the last little while running the video cable to the front, to the monitor, which will power the camera. And if you want to know a little bit more about that monitor, I did a whole video about that camera setup. Next, we need to splice in our new power cable, and this one has the quick disconnect. So all we have to do is take our factory harness here, cut that, and black is going to go to black, red is going to go to the white and red stripe. So we're just going to splice that in. We'll have our new connection made, and then our light will work just like the third brake light. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to actually solder this in, but do your own thing. You could use a butt connector with a crimp. That might be quicker, but I'm going to solder this in now, and then we should be good to go and have this hooked up and ready to be reattached to the tire and good to go on the road. So right now I can reattach my tire, and then let's hook it up. Let's get it bolted in, see how it looks. I've already tested it, as you saw, and it looks great. But yeah, let's check out the camera. Let me get this bolted up. Let's do it. So the Teraflex system uses these standoffs that get bolted in, holds in like a lug, and then on the opposite side, that's where we bolt our bracket to. Feed our wires through. I actually regret not giving myself a little more slack for the video cable, but that's okay because we got plenty of cable on this end. So I'll just make the connection on the back of the Jeep. And then we have the main power for the LED. That just plugs right in. We can put our slack through the hole. And then this will bolt right up here. Super clean. Ooh wee, that was a fun one today. We got to make a bracket, a little bit of fabrication, a little bit of painting, ran some wires, and now we have this integrated brake light with camera system on the back of the Jeep. And I love that it's so seamless, easy to disconnect. I can remove this tire way quicker than I used to, and the video quality is much, much better. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.